welcome to Atlanta Mix 108. Up next is Author Talk with your host, M.L.Ruscsak.
I'm ready for your love, don't wanna waste your time. It's you I want forever, and forever's a long time. I'm ready for your love, I wanna spend my time with you and no one else until the end of time. Cause I'm ready for your love, don't wanna waste your time. It's you I want forever, and forever's a long time. Cause I'm ready for your love, I wanna spend my time with you and no one else until the end of time. I'm ready for your love.
Morning.
Hey.
What's wrong?
I've just been thinking lately, there's this girl, that I like, but, my homies, they're telling me, basically, to do my own thing.
You don't listen to anyone. You listen to your heart. Do what sets your soul on fire. Don't listen to them.
I can't believe that you really made me stop pitching. And though I think about it, yeah, it got me tripping. And now I'm having visions of you and me forever. They say it's locked down, I say it makes me better. My boo gon' love this, homies gon' think it's cheesy, but I'm still in the hood, and I'm still talking greasy. I just found something real, someone that I could chill without no problems, no drama, someone I really feel. What was this man without you? See, you became my world. You sexy lady, drive me crazy, you my favorite girl. No more wildin' with the homies and hanging in the clubs, cause God sent me an angel, yeah, sent from above.
I'm ready for your love, don't wanna waste your time. It's you I want forever, and forever's a long time. I'm ready for your love, I wanna spend my time with you and no one else until the end of time. Cause I'm ready for your love, don't wanna waste your time. It's you I want forever, and forever's a long time. Cause I'm ready for your love, I wanna spend my time with you and no one else until the end of time. I'm ready for your love.
And now it's been a year, seemed like just yesterday. I scooped you up, gave you a hug, you stole my heart away. I knew I wanted to keep you when you sat down in the seat. No matter of fact, it was when I saw you walking in the street. I told my dude, look at that girl, ain't she a beauty? Pretty face, thin waist, and a nice booty. She had me straight like whoa, she had my heart thumping. Sorta like B's beats up in the car bumping. I wanted you on my side, saw it no other way. Love was in the air cause it was Valentine's Day. Like where you been all my life when I was in the slums. I want you to be the one, I'm ready for your love, girl.
Don't wanna waste your time. It's you I want forever, and forever's a long time. I'm ready for your love, I wanna spend my time with you and no one else until the end of time. Cause I'm ready for your love, don't wanna waste your time. It's you I want forever, and forever's a long time. Cause I'm ready for your love, I wanna spend my time with you and no one else until the end of time. I'm ready for your love. I'm ready for your love.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that you're so beautiful, you're so amazing, and I'm so glad you came into my life, girl. Yeah.
Just when I think I can learn to love one, I imagine myself all alone and you're gone. I'm ready for your love, don't wanna waste your time. It's you I want forever, and forever's a long time. I'm ready for your love, I wanna spend my time with you and no one else until the end of time. Cause I'm ready for your love, don't wanna waste your time. It's you I want forever, and forever's a long time. Cause I'm ready for your love, I wanna spend my time with you and no one else until the end of time. I'm ready for your love.
Hi, my name's Ken, and I own Good Start Packaging in Bedford, New Hampshire. With my Spark Cash Card from Capital One, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchases. And last year, that added up to $36,000 in cash back. That's right, $36,000. Thanks to that, I was able to offer healthcare to my employees. The Spark Cash Card did a lot for my business. Imagine what it could do for yours. What's in your wallet?
Real Capital One customers paid for real stories. Credit approval required.
Welcome to Author Talk. I'm your host, M.L.Ruscsak. I'm here with the wonderful J.T. Jourdan, and we're going to talk about his wonderful book, Salvation in the Woods. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's fun having another Wild Dreams author on the show.
Yes, it's a great time to be a part of their company. I'm very excited with the direction they're going.
Well, you're trying. So let's get into your book. Now, this is a suspense thriller type book, it feels like.
Yeah, it's more suspense and thriller than typical horror. That's really where I feel comfortable writing, and I enjoy like that genre style pretty much over any other genre if I'm reading or writing, whatever it may be.
Well, we all have our niches in our writing, our reading, and everything else, but it's so wonderful because this fits in perfectly with the fall season.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a really big Stephen King fan, and I really like that style of more suspense and edge of your seat. You don't really know where it's going, as opposed to straight up slasher style.
Right. And we always appreciate our thrillers that's edge of your seat, page turning, gripping the covers just to find out what's going on.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's get into what made you write this particular book.
Well, it had been an idea I had for several years when I first started writing, like knowing that's what I wanted to do with my life, was be a writer. I originally tried screenplays and write for the movies, and so this was originally a horror movie idea and was going nowhere with it as a movie. You know, there's so many logistics that you need to get into the movie business, like an agent and people to know who you are and stuff like that. And it was actually my sister who suggested I try it as a book, and I had never ever attempted a book, and so I had to learn how to format and write dialogue differently than just lines, and I really liked how it flowed as a book, and before I knew it, my screenplay had turned into a book, and I was able to visualize it as I was writing it, still very much like a movie, so I was able to put the dialogue in my head and the scenes in my head on paper, and it translated pretty well, I thought.
Great. Now, for you, going from a screenplay to a book, do you find that easier or just writing the screenplay itself?
I find it actually easier, and still, to this day, with everything I write, I like to think of myself as fairly old school. I don't necessarily sit down at my laptop and just conjure something from scratch. I go to the store, I buy a 3-subject notebook. I have a very specific pen set that I use, and I will handwrite it like a screenplay still. And then when it comes time to format it into a book, I'll look at the screenplay I've written and transform it into like book formatting, because to me, Salvation came so easily for me to write it that way. So I kind of stick with that pattern. So it's actually an easy transition for me.
That's awesome. See, you're doing a little bit of a James Patterson style
Right.
of writing almost. And
Right.
it's wonderful to get inside your mind, because every once in a while I find authors that actually use his style of formatting in their books, and they don't even realize that's what they're doing. But he does
Huh.
cards and things on a wall, and then he knows what page he needs the character to have what shirt in or what they're drinking or whatever, just by the notebook that he has.
Yeah, I'm sure like him, I find that in a way easier because like I'm not racking my brain to figure out how can I make this chapter or this page come to life. I've already got it written down, and I like, how it flows, at least temporarily, screenplay-wise, and I can try and make that work, and if it doesn't work, then you can still play with it a little bit more and add more flavor to it.
Right. Now, if you had to take Salvation and you didn't already do the screenplay, but you had to go do the screenplay, would that be challenging to you?
Yeah, I think doing it the opposite way, I think would be more difficult because everybody says the book is always better than the movie because there's so much more detail in a book, and it's your imagination.
Right.
You're painting the picture in your mind of what you see, whereas in a screenplay, you kind of got to be very specific because of shooting location and actors and what have you that play more of a factor in the visual art as more than the written. And so, yeah, I would say going reverse would be more challenging.
Finding is with a screenplay, every page is basically a minute of movie time. So if you have 120 pages, your movie, in a sense, is 120 pages or 120 minutes long.
Right.
Just little things I'm picking up as I take one of my books into a movie. So it's things that I find interesting. So
yeah, I definitely enjoy that.
Are you working on something else coming up, or?
I am working. I just finished a short story. The wonderfully talented Bella Emmy asked me to be a part of a anthology. It's called What Lies Beyond the Shadows. My short story is called Help Wanted, and it's a lot of it is very personal to me. I moved from California to Missouri when I was 13 years old. And so the main character in my book, in the short story, moves from California to Missouri, also around that age. And it was very easy for me to connect with that character because I know what those feelings were. It's very difficult to move at any age, but, 13, 14, when you're still trying to figure out who you are as a human, now all of a sudden you're in a completely different culture. And so the character in my book finds it hard to make friends and goes out to a party and finds out an urban legend of the Scarecrow Maker is very true. And it was a fun project. It'll be, like I said, it's in the anthology What Lies Beyond the Shadows, which comes out October 4th of this year.
Yes, we are all anticipating that one. It falls in line perfectly with Halloween. And
yes, excellent timing.
Yes.
And then I'm also working on another solo project that I've been working on for a few months now.
Do you have a title for that one?
I do. It's called Labeled. And I haven't talked a whole lot about it. Like, I've run the idea by Wild Dreams, and they're intrigued. So we're still kind of in the works. Of course, I'm still working on it in case they do like it. But to give a little tease, it's a school shooting book. Like what?
Very real to life.
Absolutely, and I figured not to capitalize on the tragic events, but, what a time for a book like this to come out when these tragic events happen all the time.
Right.
And, this is a different look at it. Instead of demonizing and name-calling and making the situation so much worse for other kids that feel like they have no other choice, this looks at, well, why wasn't more done to prevent this? It is very much the theme of where I'm going with that book.
That is an excellent idea because there's so many kids out there today that need just maybe they pick up the book and say, hey, I've been having these thoughts, I need help, versus, hey, they're demonizing me and I'm going to do it anyway.
Absolutely, and that obviously is the end goal. Is everybody gets angry, everybody gets bullied, everybody gets tormented, but there are people who care. There are people who want to help you, and don't be afraid to ask for help. I think our society nowadays is doing an excellent job of destroying the stigma with mental health. And obviously more needs to be done, but I think we're going in the very positive direction, and if something I write can help, then absolutely.
Yeah, versus where it was in 1996 to now, there's a lot being done.
Right.
Wild has a anthology about anti-bullying. We're going at it by a paranormal view, and I have a story coming out in that one for anti-bullying, so. We're all about putting positive things out there.
Absolutely. And one of my biggest philosophies that I try to adhere by is the world is a better place when we help each other. Whether it's any kind of help, just somebody to talk to. The world is a better place when we help each other. And like you said, we're going in that positive direction, and we're a very positive movement, and any little thing can help somebody. You don't realize how big of an impact you make on somebody day in and day out.
Right. We now have access to life coaches. We have access to counselors and motivational speakers and things that people utilize on a day-to-day basis now. Where 20 years ago, they were like, that's never going to happen. But we're getting there, and it's very positive to see this growth.
Absolutely. And, going back to the shooting book, I still remember Columbine vividly. I'm 31 years old, and that happened in 99. And the first things that you heard from the press and the media and elected officials, whoever it may be, were these kids were monsters, they were demons, they were evil, evil people. Well, in my philosophy, you're not born evil. Something in your life turns you that way.
Yeah, I remember that shooting very well. I'm a little bit older than you, but not by much, but I was in French class, and they broke in on the school television with live coverage, and they told everyone, I'm in Ohio at this point, and they tell everyone to get under the desk. This is a shooting that happened in Colorado, I believe, if I remember.
Yeah.
And they're telling people in Ohio to get under your desk. I'm like, it was surreal to watch it on the TV. And then you hear all the negative about the kids, but we don't hear is what pushed the kids to get to that point.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what my book focuses on is, it's human beings can only take so much stress. I don't care how old you are, what your profession is, if you're a student, what have you. You can only take so much stress before you mentally break down. And at Columbine, you heard, it was the rock music, it was the video games, and that's just a cop-out. It wasn't anybody that those kids should have been able to trust stepping up and taking care of the problem. I'm not laying all the blame on them, obviously, because the kids still made their decision to do what they did.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They're wrong. They made the wrong choice. So I don't want anybody thinking I'm glorifying school shooters or anything like that. They made the wrong choice.
Exactly.
But what forced them to do so?
Exactly. We don't see that. We don't know that. And as you said, we can only take so much stress before someone makes that wrong choice. But
right.
we put something in place where they can say to a teacher, to a principal, so it's someone they trust.
Absolutely. And, oftentimes, the ones that they should trust turn out to be the wrong people to trust anyway, because for whatever reason they choose to ignore it. They don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I said, everybody gets bullied at some point in life. It just happens. That's how our society is, especially here in America.
Yes.
But, you know, when you're a teacher, an educator, or a neighbor, and you're put in that position to be somebody's sounding board, you can't take that lightly, especially today. You know, our society has evolved so much since '99 alone, and there were shootings before Columbine. Columbine just happens to be one of the most famous ones.
Right. It's a sad statistic, unfortunately.
It is very unfortunate.
And then we have the kids that, instead of lashing out like they did in the school shootings that we're aware of, you have those ones that prefer to take their own life, which is just as tragic because there's help out there. But
yes, very much.
Are they telling the right people how they're not taking it serious?
Absolutely. You know, I think that's another epidemic that needs to be, what's the word? Broadcasted, I guess. Excuse me. To where, you know, if you feel, in either situation, if you feel like lashing out towards other people or if you feel like lashing out against yourself, there is help for you, and there is no shame in asking for help. I mean, like we said earlier, that stigma is starting to go away, that it's okay to go see a counselor, it's okay to talk to people, and it does have to be that right person, because not everybody has your best interest at heart. Right. I'm reminded of that young lady in New Jersey, I think it was, told her boyfriend to kill himself, and he ended up doing it. And, you know, he confided in the wrong person.
Right.
And it's tragic.
Right. See, I'm doing the paranormal anti-bullying. I don't have a title yet, but I'm taking it from the perspective of a person that was bullied and committed suicide rather than help. Yes, that's still a wrong stigma, but then we find out why, that what led to this voice through the book.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's just something, we got that on the subject, and it all ties in basically to the same thing. We need to be able to trust who we're telling things to, but at the same time, we need those people that we trust to tell us the right information.
Right. And
real quick,
yeah, I think
today, where can the listeners find you?
You can find me on, I'm on Twitter at JT Jourdan. I have a Facebook page. It's JT_Jourdan_author. Those will probably be the two best ways, and they are me. I'm still waiting on Twitter to give me that blue check mark, but I promise you it's me. If I respond, it is absolutely me. The same with Facebook. I handle all of my stuff, and I'm on the Wild Dreams Publishing author catalog. They also have my links for my social media.
We also have you on the Wild Dreams website itself.
Yes.
And those links will also be added shortly.
Awesome. Yeah, I cannot thank Wild Dreams enough for everything they've done. I mean, I love the name of the company because they did make my wild dream come true. You know, I was always a writer, and I'd always figure out a way to become a writer. But thanks to Wild Dreams now, it's a reality, and it's incredible.
They are a roller coaster company, and I'm so glad to be on this roll ride with them. So. Absolutely,
and I wanted to get one quick plug in for a special lady. The anthology For Melissa is coming out very soon. Without Melissa Lee, I promise I'm not on this phone having this interview with you. She signed me, gave me my contract, And I'm not a part of the project, but all the proceeds go to her family to help her with her situation. And she's a very special lady to me because she helped me get where I am. And so For Melissa will be out very soon.
Yes, and it was such an honor to be a part of that anthology. And again, all the proceeds go to her illness right now and helping her get better, because we all miss her within the house.
Yes, yes we do.
We miss that bubbly personality that we don't have right now going on day to day, but we understand where she's at, and we wish her all the best.
Yes, we do.
So right now, Salvations in the Woods is available at Amazon. That's on Kindle and paperback. Wonderful thriller, just in time for the Halloween season. And JT, thank you so much for coming with me today.
Oh, thank you so much.
And for this edition of Author Talk, thank you and good night. So we're out. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much. Oh, no problem. Thank you very much.
I just got into the office earlier, and I was like, well, maybe I can get you in here early today.
Yeah, I was just sitting around. Yes, absolutely.
And as soon as your next book comes out, let me know. We need to get you some
Okay, yeah.
too.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. You can do that yourself if you're on Fiverr. They start at $5. They're very cheap, but they're very cool looking. And
Okay.
trailers made or something made here. So let's have this. I'll get the mock up to the assistant soon, as soon as I get to that genre. Right now I'm in the anthologies. So.
Yeah, I have 2 more anthologies to do with Bella, and I think after that I'm free from the anthologies for a while, and then I get to work on my own personal stuff. Like, I already have the sequel to Salvation done. I just haven't turned it in because I didn't want to do back-to-back, same thing. I wanted to kind of space them out a little bit.
Right. That's always a good thing. See, with me, when I came to Wild Dreams, I had the first book wrote, and it was published, and then a snafu happened, so they picked up the first book. And then I gave them the second book right away because it was already done, but there was a year in between. It was originally set to be released. But I'm sending you the mock-up for the anthology one, since you're in what lies beyond the shadows. So we have our 3 current, soon-to-be published anthologies, and you'll have that mock-up here in about 30 seconds.
Okay, awesome.
Do what you want with it. But
I will indeed.
Thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.